Good morning and welcome to Rising. We've got another excellent show for you today. Lots of exciting news to get into. How are you doing today, Jessica? I see we're starting to develop the thing where we inadvertently match or color coordinate. I'm glad to see that's coming along. The psychic connection.
Yeah, our outfit telepathy is growing stronger, Robbie.
Yes.
It's giving prom. We're matching.
It's giving prom, all right. What are we talking about today?
We're going to get into the assassination of Hamas political leader over the last 24 hours, the fallout from Project 2025, Trump's attempt to woo the black vote, and the cultural phenomenon, or should I say feminine-nomenon, that is Simone Biles, and more.
Wonderful. But first, Kamala Harris is surging in the battleground states. According to the latest polling, she has reduced or eliminated Donald Trump's lead in 7 swing states. That is, again, according to this polling. Harris leads Trump 48 to 47% across all swing states and is ahead of Trump in Arizona, Michigan, Nevada, and Wisconsin. That is what Bloomberg News Morning Consult survey has shown. That was published just yesterday. Trump and Harris are neck and neck in Georgia, both at 47%, and Harris is behind Trump by 4 points in Pennsylvania and by 2 points in North Carolina. Now, the poll surveyed 4,900 voters across all 7 swing states between July 24th and 28th, just days after Harris rose to the top of the Democratic ticket, so that is reflecting her new position in the race.
Yes, the support Kamala is gaining is palpable. As evident, she held a boisterous rally in Atlanta, Georgia last night. The Harris campaign said 10,000 people were in attendance. She began with some digs at Trump.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Kamala also challenged her opponent.
Well, Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say,
And even rapper Megan Thee Stallion stopped by.
Now I know my ladies in the crowd love they body. Real hot girl. And if you want to keep loving your body, you know who to go for. Beat live, you know Lil Ju. Hey. 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 Yeah.
The Abrams and Senators John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock also spoke at the event. So the energy was huge before they started the formal part of the rally. They were like hype people that were playing music. They were doing the electric slide and walking out and stuff. So it seemed like a very fun event. I'm not so happy that she started it off really saying that she's, well, it wasn't the first thing she said, but one of the first major policy topics she touched on was the border. And she said Trump's legacy is stopping this bipartisan border bill, and she's going to make sure to get done the conservative border bill, which Donald Trump wouldn't. It just seems that she's catering to the middle more than I think youth voters would like to see.
Oh, I definitely think she's catering to the middle. I mean, that's her. I would argue that that's her path to victory, not pursuing the youth vote. I don't particularly want her to do that because I don't particularly want her to win. But I want to talk about the polling. So this is interesting and showing a closer race than Trump versus Biden. We do have to take some of this polling with a grain of salt. I saw a lot of people saying, so the poll shows her up by 11 points in Michigan and down by 4 or 5 in Pennsylvania. It is difficult to imagine a scenario on Election Day where Trump wins Pennsylvania by 5 points and Harris wins Michigan by 11 points. The states are somewhat close in terms of their demographics, in terms of how they performed in the last several elections. To have a result that is so discordant across those very similar swing states doesn't make a lot of sense. you know, if you want to start guessing, well, why would Trump be ahead in Pennsylvania but so far behind in Michigan? I guess it could be because of the shooting which happened in Pennsylvania, giving him some kind of extra local sort of support there as a survivor of the political assassination attempt. But what I suspect is that that poll is a little bit off. But interestingly, let's say all of the results on Election Day go the way that poll showed, go exactly the way. So Trump wins Pennsylvania, loses Michigan, wins North Carolina, et cetera. That would mean it would come down to Georgia, where that poll had them exactly tied. The winner of Georgia would be the winner of the election.
Right. We're in a place where the single issue voters on immigration that are on the left will likely never cast a ballot for Trump because he's so extreme on immigration, and him pulling, honestly, the political spectrum to the right, especially on immigration, has created this opportunity for Democrats to capture the middle on that issue. Will it cost them the amount of voters that would lose her the election? I don't think so. But I do think that if she falls on a lot of issues, like her stances on Gaza, her stance on student debt, healthcare, and the environment, there are a lot of issues. Picking a VP is one of them.
My prediction is she's going to disappoint you on all these issues.
I hope
which
that's
I'm
not
sorry
the
for you.
case. But I will
I don't
say,
want you to be disappointed.
I don't know if she can afford to lose the youth vote. The youth vote is credited at delivering Biden the presidency in 2020 by some angles. The youth vote increased by 16% from 2016 to 2020. I think we'll see more people turn out. And she's really got to keep the momentum up to get the voters to even show up and cast a ballot. And so being bad on like some of the key issues they're looking on as a problem, it seems that there's like some horse trading going on. And her team's like, we'll be tough on immigration, but we'll be different on Gaza. And they're making these trades.
I think the advantage of having excited young people on your behalf is, I think, more so for the vibes and the pop culture cash and the positive media coverage and entertainment coverage and the way Barack Obama benefited from that. And then the actual like grunt work of campaigning is often done by younger people, registering people to vote, all that sort of thing. It definitely helps to have young people energized on your behalf, don't get me wrong. But this election will come down to a handful of a couple thousand center-oriented working class voters, centrist Republicans, moderates, independents in these handful of states who are not young people. Many of them are middle-aged or older people whose minds are not quite made up, who maybe don't like Trump at all, but prefer his policies and had liked Biden enough in 2020, but had decided there's just no way he can continue to be president or be president for another term, and so had turned on him and might be won back by Kamala Harris, but could also be turned off by her if she, I would say, if she leans into some of the very progressive stances she used to hold, like banning fracking, Green New Deal, running away from her record as a tough on crime kind of person. Again, I'm not saying, well, some of these policies I agree with and some of them I don't. I very much agree with fracking and I'm very much against the Green New Deal, so I would like to see her renounce those things because I think they're bad policy ideas. I also think they would be electorally popular. I think tough on crime is popular. I have mixed feelings about that because it often comes with civil liberties violations and just more money for police departments is I don't think always the answer. But I think she'd be well advised to run on it.
I can see, a lot of people are saying, and it's true to some degree, that there's about 500,000 people across the swing states that determine the election. These are typically reliable voters and centrists. But I think we're in an environment where the Democratic Party, like they did with Labor, cannot afford to take the youth vote for granted. And sure, those centrists determine the election, given that the Democrats already have the youth vote in these swing states, which might not be the case if Kamala doesn't act right. And so I think that, yes, she's experiencing a surge currently with all of what you said, not just people planning on voting for her, but the youth vote comes with all sorts of things. It comes with TikTok videos that people will see on the internet, all of this positive posting on social media that's really organic. I don't know if she can afford to lose that because there are older voters that see that as well. That keeps her name in the press. It keeps the algorithms pushing Kamala Harris content because people are clicking on it. And so it's a greater calculation than just, are we planning on the youth vote showing up in November? And so I think they can't afford to lose those ballots cast, but they really can't afford to lose this momentum. Of course, it's a surge and some of it will go away and things will equalize. But I really think it's a make or break moment. And how she acts now could determine whether or not they stick with her and keep the excitement up.
I just think it was kind of a bad look to have, at that rally. It's going to turn off some people. Just a bad look to have an election denier there. Stacey Abrams, who claimed her own election was stolen on multiple times, multiple opportunities say that. Just putting that out there.
Very interesting take, Robbie.
More Rising right after this.